All right, guys. So as many of you already probably know, we may have a social security problem on our hands. Yes, you know, that thing that all of us pay into out of our paychecks every single month. That thing, right? The government promises us that, you know, when we retire, that we're going to receive a lump sum from them every single month to take care of us. Yeah, that thing, right? Social Security is potentially in danger. Okay. And some of the reasons why is because America's getting older. We're having fewer kids and we're living longer. Baby boomers are retiring at a record pace. And as of 2018, 16% of the population was 65 or older. And that is projected to be at least 23% by 2060. And at the same time, our working age population is also getting smaller, right? It's going to go down from about 62% to 57% by 2060. Now, all of these factors have led the Social Security Administration to conclude that its Social Security bank account is expected to basically run out of money by 2035, in which it would only have 79% of what it would be expected to pay out that year. Now, fortunately, that's the worst case scenario. Okay. As you know, it's expected that Social Security won't completely run out of money, at least for another 2 decades. But the politicians are taking notice, right? And, you know, this is a problem that needs to be solved. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are worried about Social Security. You're worried that you're paying into a system that you're probably not going to get anything out of. However, we do have Mitt Romney, who's currently working on legislation, bipartisan legislation, to try to fix this problem. So let's read here to see how Mitt Romney is trying to fix this. Senator Mitt Romney is leading a bipartisan coalition to help buoy Social Security among other federal trust programs that are in funding straits. Co-sponsored by 6 Democrats, 9 Republicans, and 1 independent in both the Senate and the House, the Time to Rescue United States Trust Act aims to address the country's endangered federal programs like the Highways Trust Fund, Medicare Part A, and Social Security's insurance, pension, and disability funds as their reserves dwindle. Quote, there's broad recognition that we need to address the looming insolvency of our federal trust funds, Senator Mitt Romney said in a press release. Congress must respond in a way which will address this long-term problem, which is coming down the pike much sooner than was expected. Our Trust Act is a bipartisan solution which will shore up our federal trust funds and put us on the path towards a stronger fiscal future. The Highway Trust Fund is just 1 year away from exhausting its reserve, while Medicare's Hospital Insurance Trust Fund has 5 years before depleting its extra funds. The Social Security Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund and Disability Insurance Trust Fund are forecast to run out of their surplus in 11 years, according to a September 2020 analysis by the Congressional Budget Office, potentially leading to reduced benefits for retirees if no funding solution is found. The funds are funded through dedicated revenue sources that have been affected by the pandemic, in some cases making it even more urgent for Congress to address the matter, according to Romney's press release. The proposed legislation would create bipartisan 12-member subcommittees, a rescue committee for each trust fund that will have a deadline of 180 days to draft legislation aimed at improving each program while securing long-term funding. If the committee produces a bill, it will receive expedited consideration in both chambers. Quote, future generations of Americans should not be burdened by our poor financial decisions today, Senator Joe Manchin said in a press release. Quote, we must work to put the federal budget back on track to reflect our priorities while being fiscally responsible. In addition to Manchin, the act is also co-sponsored by Senator Ty Young, Kyrsten Sinema, Shelley Moore Capito, Angus King, Rob Portman, Mark Warner, John Coyen, Mike Rounds, Kevin Kramer, and Cynthia Lewis, Mike Gallagher, Ed Case, Scott Peters, Jody Arrington, Caroline Bordak have introduced companion legislation in the House. All right. So, Mitt Romney is basically leading a bipartisan group of lawmakers to try to fix this problem, right, of Social Security. Now, there's a few things that can be done, right? They can raise the retirement age, right? So I think the retirement age right now is like 65, right? So they could raise it to 66, 67. Okay. They could decrease the benefits. Okay. Or they could increase taxes, right? And my guess for this is that they probably would increase taxes, right? And the reason why is because that's probably the least politically painful for them to do, okay? Because, people don't want to pay into something and know that, okay, well, they're extending the retirement age, which means that that's less chance that I might live to even see my benefits, right? That's one less year I'll get of benefits. And they probably don't want less benefits, okay? Especially considering that, prices tend to go up over time. Inflation creeps up over time, okay? So they'll probably end up with a tax increase. That would be my guess. But, I just find it interesting because the people that's in this bipartisan group, the Joe Manchins of the world, the Democrats hate him. The Kyrsten Sinemas of the world, the Democrats hate her, okay? The Mitt Romneys of the world, Republicans hate him. Some of the most hated lawmakers, right, from both sides are the ones in Congress that are the ones that are actually trying to solve America's most pressing problems, right? You might not agree with Mitt Romney on the minimum wage, right, or raising it. I don't particularly do, but he's trying, right? He's trying to work on something bipartisan with the Democrats. He's also working on student loan debt with Kyrsten Sinema as well. Now he's working on trying to make Social Security solvent. For all the criticisms of Mitt Romney, seriously, people can't criticize him for the legislation. They really can't. I mean, the guy is a policy wizard for the most part, in my opinion. Okay? And I just find it interesting, out of all the drama, all the things that are happening, the politicians that tend to get the most hate are the ones that are really trying to come together and work on solutions. You don't see McConnell a part of that. You don't see a lot of these people on the right that are making a whole lot of noise, but ain't really doing nothing a part of this. You don't see AOC in this. You don't see the squad being a part of this. You don't see those people on the left who are making a whole lot of noise that's a part of this. The politicians that seem to be the most divided or divisive to a certain extent are the ones that's not really working on any legislation. Because I feel like a lot of conservatives probably want their Social Security, right? They want to receive the benefits of something that they paid into. That's why you got 9 Republicans co-sponsoring this. More Republicans than Democrats are getting behind this to try to fix Social Security. This is an issue that's very important to conservatives because they tend to be a lot older, right? Which means they're the ones that's going to benefit more from Social Security. Okay? They have the most to lose if it goes insolvent. They want to receive the full benefits, the benefits that were promised. And Mitt Romney is working on this. This is kind of why I was telling you guys, like, extremism in Congress, that doesn't get anything done. That's not how things get done. That's actually how things don't get done. And if you notice and you pick up on things, the people that are getting stuff done in Congress are the least controversial people. They're the people that's not commenting on every single situation and trying to front on social media. I just find that interesting. Okay? I just find that interesting. Because this is a problem on the right and the left. We love paying attention to these politicians that ain't doing nothing. They go on social media, they make these extravagant videos. They try to play up to their base, they try to play up to the crowd, but when you look at the legislation, who are you working with to get anything done? Are you trying to work with the Democrats? If the issue is so bad, shouldn't you be trying to introduce some legislation? Shouldn't you be trying to find some common ground so you can get the problem solved? And it's funny because when I go and look up what's going on with the legislation in Congress, who's trying to get stuff done, and the things that are most likely to get done are those that are going to be bipartisan and tend to be more towards the middle. I always see Mitt Romney up there. I always see Kyrsten Sinema up there. I always see Joe Manchin up there. That's who I see. But yet these are the people that get the most hate. I don't understand why. Because everybody else is just talking. They just talking. They're so partisan that That's impossible for them to get anything done. You're in Congress to get stuff done. You're not in Congress to talk and grandstand. The senators and the people that everybody hates happen to be the ones that are like the less extreme and the ones that are actually trying to solve America's most pressing issue. This Social Security issue is a pressing issue, right? That's a pressing issue. But, you know, we will see what comes out of this. I think it'll be interesting to see how they actually try to solve this problem. It's a problem that definitely needs to be solved. Our population is getting older. People want to receive their Social Security. It will not be popular to actually cut the benefits or to raise the retirement age. So something has to be done here. Okay. And we'll see what comes out of it. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.